Michael Jamison from the Blues have been good enough to join us. One of the great men of AFL football. Good morning to you, Jamo.
Hello, guys.
Hey, a couple of weeks ago, Monday night footy, you're playing St Kilda, almost the first contest of the game. You go in a marking contest with Nick Revolt, and it looked like you did some damage to your shoulder again. You played on and you played the next week. Can you give us a kind of status update of that on that shoulder of yours?
Yeah, look, the shoulder's fine at the moment. In the game, it just, unfortunately, I didn't read a ball too well and went to pluck it late, and it just popped in and out. But luckily, it popped into place, really well, and didn't do any, structural damage. So, it's sore for a couple of days, but after that, it tends to be pretty good.
So, Michael, it can just pop in and out. Do you need to have major surgery, say, at the end of the year to tighten the whole thing up?
No, look, at this stage, I met with, I often meet with the surgeons and the docs and get maybe a little contingency plan, but they were pretty happy that, everything sat back into place pretty well, and, the work that I'd had done in the past was still pretty strong. So, at this stage, no. So, touch wood, it just stays there for the rest of the year. And
I'm imagining you'd be pretty happy with your form at the moment?
Oh, you look reasonably well. I think, probably similar to the teams. It's been, good in stages and patching stages. So, I'll give you a nice cliche, but we just try and, train well every week and keep the form up.
Do you think the team, you sit back there, you watch how the game unfolds. Do you think your team, Carlton, is better defensively in any way this year than what it was last year?
I think our when we're at our best defensively this year, it's been better than last year, but it's probably been noted that it's just been patchy. But I think the positive and the encouraging signs are that when we are at our best and switched on, then it's been, better than last year.
Good morning, Michael. It's Andrew Gaze here. You take on Brisbane at the Gabba. I watched a little bit of the Brisbane game last week. They seem to come out and make a very, very physical statement early on. Do you read anything into that as far as your preparations are concerned?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I think you've got a plan for every team to come out and be physical and be hard at the contest. And I think our numbers have shown this year in terms of contested ball and tackling that, like the last couple of years, it has been one of our strengths. So, no doubt it's going to be a good challenge. And, it's funny with teams when they start to get written off a little bit, you can always tell that they're going to respond. And the same with players, you can only laugh when guys have a go at Buddy and Jono Brown. You just know in the coming weeks that they're going to step up, and Brownie was fantastic on the weekend.
Mick looks like he's really kind of sorting out in his own mind, the players that he likes in the positions that he likes. And there's a lot of tinkering going on with Kate Simpson sort of gone down back. Murph on the weekend played forward. There's no Nick Duigan and Jeremy Laidler this year, whereas they were, outstanding contributors in the last couple of years. Are the players, is that some of the players are kind of chatting about, the fact that, things are going on in this team and it's all a bit interesting?
Yeah, no doubt. I think early, a few guys were probably a little bit shocked from the way Mick was, taking guys out of the team. It just made everyone stand up and take notice that, no one's spot is safe. I think if we had people try and pick our best 22 at the start of the year, it would have looked markedly different than the ones playing now. But, the back six is, it's noticeably different than last year, but it's probably the most settled that it's been for a long time. And we're all starting to feel really comfortable with each other down there. And guys like Lockie Henderson and Zach Tui, I think, have been really good this year. And I think that's just from having, a stable back six and getting used to playing with each other.
We're talking to Blues key defender Michael Jamison. And, Michael, did you support the fining of Jared Waite after that last suspension?
Oh, I supported the club in how disappointed they were with Jared. And, however they wanted to sort of make that noted, then I supported, because as a playing group, we were, really disappointed. But saying that, we were also really, happy and encouraged by the way he took it on board and came back on the weekend and probably, stood up in face of that disappointment. And
on more serious matters, I'm thinking of joining a book club. Are there any advantages?
I had to stop watch on Andy. I was waiting how long it was going to take you, mate.
Are you still... I don't know anything about this, Michael, but are you still involved in a book club?
No, I've got the same status on a book club that I've always had, mate. That's not involved.
Have you read a good book lately?
I have read a good book lately, actually. It was recommended by my ex-skipper, Chris Judd.
What was it?
It's called The Art of Racing in the Rain, and it's It's actually through the perspective of dogs. So Andy Marr might give it a good read and find it.
Jeez.
How can an author get in the mind of a dog and know what a dog thinks when it's running in the rain, Michael?
What's that, mate?
How can anyone know what a dog's thinking when they're running in the rain?
Oh, well, I'll let you read it and find
I
it.
will. I'll get it off you next time I see you. Hey, good luck on the weekend. It is another big game against the Brisbane Lions, mate, and we wish you all the very best. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Michael.